Hello and welcome to video number 4 in my series about the image quality of the Canon EOS R5. So I've now tested long exposure noise, I've tested ISO invariance, then high ISO capabilities, and now it's finally time to look at the resolution the R5 can deliver versus the 5DSR. We'll look at ISO 100 images, so base ISO, to discard any effects that higher ISO could have on the images, so really focusing on the resolution. Okay, let's not waste much more time talking, let's just head in. So as with the last video, let's again start with a little test. So what I've done here, I have photos taken with the R5 and the 5DSR. Also, the images with the R5, I have it taken with the EF 1635 f4 lens and the RF 1535 lens. So 3 images in total. Then what I did, I upsampled all of them to be printable at 120 centimeters width and 300 dpi. So all images had to be upsampled. The 5DSR image a little less so than the R5 images because of the additional resolution it has, but in general all had to be upsampled. So a typical use case you would need to do if you want to print large with both the R5 or the 5DSR. So we're here in 100% mode and I have all the images, and again I show you different areas and we'll stick to the center of the photo I took. So I again, as usual, photographed the map of the world I have, and we'll just look at center parts to discard any effects that a decentered lens might have, because I know the 1635 I use, it's not as perfect as the version of the 1535 I now have is, so in terms of overall sharpness. So we'll stick to the center, all photos taken at f5.6, so beneath the diffraction limit, and yeah, let's just go ahead. This is the first area, so yeah, just take some time, look at it and really look at the fine lines, details, and see which image for you shows the best resolution. And here's the second area, so this already looks familiar to you too, if you've seen the last video. Take a few seconds, decide where you see the best resolution. And here the final sample I want to show you. So take a few seconds and then we're gonna reveal which was which. Okay, so first of all, here on the left side and on the far right. This here on the far right is the 5DSR with the 1635 lens, and here on the far left it's the R5 with the 1635 lens. In the middle we have the R5 with the 1535 lens. And the first thing you can notice maybe also here in this portion is between the 1635 lens and the 1535 lens, there's really not so much of a difference. For myself, I don't see any. So there might be a little more contrast even in the 1635 lens, but in terms of resolution, none of those improves anything. So they're both fully capable, it seems, of resolving what the R5 has to offer here. So next here, on the right side, the 5DSR, if you look closely, look at those lines and we can go to 200% here. So it's an upscaled image and then 200%, so something which will look a bit horrible, but you can see if you just look at those lines here that the 5DSR still has an edge. So it's not much, but it is there. You also see a little cleaner color rendition, I think, here in the R5, so maybe a little bit of moire going on. You see this here in those fine patterns. I'm not sure what it is, but overall I think there's less of those color noise here. So yeah, looking at this, I'd say the 5DSR is still the resolution king, so not just on paper but effectively. But I have to say that the R5, despite having an AA filter, an anti-aliasing filter, has a quite good resolving power compared to the 5DSR. So it's not a big gap here. I think with a little bit of post-processing I can get nearly equal results and print nearly as big as with the 5DSR. So considering all the other improvements, I think overall the image quality that the R5 can deliver will be better than that of the 5DSR in challenging situations. If you have all control, can take clean exposures at low ISO and even use bracketing and everything, I think you can get a better image with the 5 DSR. But as soon as you have to push the shadows, recite to shorter exposures and higher ISOs, this is then where the R5 will be better in my opinion. So now you have it. We've looked at different parts of the image quality. Decide for yourself what you need, what you like more, if it's worth the upgrade. I mean, it's not cheap. And yeah, I will now have a few in the field vlogs for you in the upcoming videos where I really use the R5. We take actual photos out in the field and I show you how I use the R5, and we'll also look at the images. I give you a little bit more feedback, which I think I can only do if I really use the camera. Here in the office, this was just for me also to see how the camera will perform, but in the field it's always a bit different. So I'm now excited to test that. Till then, if you want, you can also read up on my results here on my blog, where I summarized everything I tested in the videos. I have a little text, a little verdict at the end. And yeah, also what's important, I think, currently, that's also what I write here in my blog, it's still the Adobe's DNG converter, which is a beta. That's what I use to create the raw files or convert the raw files and make them usable in Lightroom. So it's still possible that upcoming versions of Lightroom and this converter will improve on the image quality. Also, I'm very keen to test Capture One. So as soon as Capture One supports the R5, I will do some more tests and see if I can even improve on the results I got here, and if proper conversion can pull out a bit more details or improve on dynamic range and stuff like that. But for now, I'm already quite confident that the R5 will allow me to capture high quality images, even though with a little less resolution. But we'll see in the next videos how this goes. See you.